Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TSUYOI Wrestling presents Prologue. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Aaron Nix alongside Chocolate Fondue himself, Troy Grant. Troy Grant, welcome to the announce position.
Yes, always a pleasure, especially next to you. Really looking forward to this show. Something a little bit different to what maybe some people are used to from Brit Rest shows.
Yes, indeed. True combat.
Introducing our first competitor to my right. She is hailing from Birmingham, repping the Kamikaze Pro Dojo, the bad girl, Chantal Jordan! And introducing her opponent to my left, he is hailing from London, repping the London School of Wrestling. He is True Grit, Connor Mills!
Well, Troy, an absolutely scintillating matchup to start off TSUYOI Wrestling's Prologue here at the New Cross Inn. The referee calls for the bell. Very interesting, unique set of circumstances as True Grit Connor Mills faces the bad girl, Chantal Jordan.
Yeah, this is two real heavy hitters, both with a real strong kind of kickboxing background. It's going to be stiff, it's going to be hard hitting, but it's going to be technical too, which we're seeing right from the off.
Yes, we are indeed. Connor Mills with the escape there. A nice little feeling out process between Chantal Jordan and Connor Mills, two individuals who very much suit the very ethos of what TSUYOI Wrestling is trying to put across. Combat professional wrestling, open weight rules, which is why we find ourselves with these two competitors, despite an extreme weight and height differentiation between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you mentioned the height and weight difference there, but Chantal Jordan can hang with the best of them regardless of size. I've seen her kick bells out of many person.
Yeah, arguably the two most MMA affluent athletes that we have in professional wrestling today. The head scissors applied by Chantal Jordan to Connor Mills, looking to wrench at that neck. And dare I say, Troy, obviously we've seen both of these individuals a number of times. Chantal Jordan, obviously with a massive weight disadvantage against Connor Mills, is going to have to look to ground True Grit early doors in this contest.
Yeah,
applied.
Absolutely. He's going to have a tough time with it, though, because it's, Connor Mills is no slouch. He's extremely quick, very rapid. So I don't know where tactics going to be here, because they're certainly going to match each other for strikes, and I think they can match each other for speed. So it's going to be really interesting. Whoa, see there,
Yeah.
Spoke about the striking ability of both of these people.
Yeah, interesting stance there. Both individuals extremely capable, as we've said, in the martial arts, particularly MMA training and roundhouse kicks on either side of this affair. This is an open weight contest, ladies and gentlemen. Open weight rules, courtesy of TSUYOI Wrestling. Chantal Jordan sweeping the legs out. Connor Mills early doors here. Nice block there from Connor Mills, who retreats and then just reverberates with a vicious roundhouse kick right to the chest. Do you think the open weight rules are going to favour Connor Mills in this matchup?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I say that, I maybe spoke too soon, but yeah, but I feel like it could do, but it's still so hard to tell. Chantal giving just as good as she's getting here.
Yeah, vicious European uppercut in the corner, sweeps the legs out, and now we're going to get some absolute textbook. Bad girl Chantal Jordan driving that thigh and that knee into the side of True Grit's face, and now panted, stalling drop kick in the corner. What Chantal Jordan does so well, cover just a 2 count, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, very interesting state of affairs here, isn't it, Troy? Because ultimately the rules are very different to what traditional professional wrestling would apply. A minimum, or should I say a maximum amount of rope breaks. Only 3 rope breaks allowed during a 15-minute time limit contest.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how these are used, and I think it will depend very much on the style of... lovely dragon screw takedown. I think it's going to very much depend on the style of the competitors we get in these matches. These two here, you can see, very heavy hitting, lots of striking ability. Not as much in terms of submission. Could be a knockout in this one, whereas there's some matchups later on where those rope breaks are really going to be telling on how they're used and when they're used.
Yeah, pinfall, submission, and knockout, of course, are going to be the key things there. And speaking of knockouts, Connor Mills with one of the most lethal right kicks in the game. The only person, arguably, who could match him on this entire roster is Chantel Jordan. A hell of a matchup, a real Bloodsport-esque affair going on here, covered by Connor Mills. Just a 1 count, I believe, there. And Chantel Jordan could not allow herself to be grounded too quickly. As we know, True Grit is able to dismantle and dissect opponents at will. Connor Mills looking to apply some extreme damage early on. He's got that left knee wrapped up there and drops it right across. And it's very obvious from the early going here, Troy, that Connor Mills with a cover, just a 1 count, pretty cocky cover, to be honest. It's very obvious that Connor Mills has isolated that left leg of Chantel Jordan. Let's be honest, take away one of the wheels of Chantel Jordan, you are going to cause a serious amount of damage and you're going to limit her ability to get into this fight.
Absolutely. Left or right foot, whichever leg you take out, you're either taking out the striking leg or you're taking out the leg that supports as you're going for those strikes. And it's really going to work on that now.
True Grit indeed. True Grit by name, True Grit by nature. One of the hardest hitting and most affluent individuals in all of professional wrestling. Connor Mills has blazed a trail across the United Kingdom British wrestling scene, and once again zoned in and on that left leg, potentially looking for a surfboard stretch, a little bit of Mambo-esque behavior. This is something you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, from Connor Mills especially. He likes to dissect. He likes to take his time. The pace is methodical, and you can see right now, and that is a nasty position to be in.
Arms over. That's not nice.
Yeah, dangerous. Potential hyperextension, not only of the shoulders, but also of the knees, as he drove all his body weight into the back of Chantel Jordan's knees. You can tear a meniscus, an ACL. It's not a pleasant position to be in. You can hear almost a silent hush from this audience who now begin to get back into this fight, not really knowing who to pick. Obviously, 2 individuals. This is the first matchup for TSUYOI Wrestling, and what a matchup it is. And now, oh, look at that, looking to counter, sunset flip into a pinning combination, just a 2 count from Chantel Jordan, who's now looking to try and rally some offense against True Grit Connor Mills.
Some big forearms here, nice reversal. Oh, straight back to that left leg as well. Kick to the back for good measure.
Yeah, nothing fancy about that. Pinning combination, 2 count only from the referee. We are yet to see any rules really in effect that could affect this matchup. Of course, magnificent TG media at ringside capturing the action here as Connor Mills looks to ground that left leg and just looking to bend things down. A lovely variation of the Indian deathlock applied by Connor Mills to the bad girl Chantel Jordan, who has to be very careful. Referee in a very good position there. Nasty knife edge chop just absorbed from Connor Mills, who is, as you all know,
aggravated him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't wind up, my lord. I mean, I wouldn't want to wind up Connor Mills. You can see the rage within him. If anything, he enjoys being struck, doesn't he, Connor Mills? He's somebody who can absorb punishment like no other.
Absolutely. But
yeah, knife edge chop once again. Chantel Jordan looking to create some separation, but I do believe that, the Indian deathlock, I think, not entirely applied at this point. Chantel Jordan able to force her way out of this submission predicament. Of course, submissions are going to be very key here in TSUYOI Wrestling, looking to really harness the Asian combat, really looking to take a twist on British wrestling. Irish whip reversal by Connor Mills into the corner. Chantel catches him flush with a back elbow. Connor Mills putting the brakes on, and again looking at that and looking to cravat that left ankle and that left leg and all that torque, all that aggression on the knee. And Chantel Jordan is aware of that. There's a real desperation right now in Chantel Jordan, who's maintained her balance very nicely, creating separation, Troy.
Ooh. Yeah, she's done well there, all things considered. He's gone to work on that leg to break out of that, to keep that offense up.
Speaking of offense, young man, 2 beautiful roundhouse kicks. A real roadhouse mentality and that driving knee lift. Big knee. It's also worth pointing out the damage knee for Chantel Jordan. Beautiful meaty aura right across the head and neck. Pinning combination. Connor Mills barely able to escape a 3 count.
Managed to find a way back in here. All one-way traffic, Connor Mills, for the last few minutes, but she's found a way in there. Looking for a suplex. He's reversed that, no?
Oh, wait, saw the knee give way there.
The knee
spoke about this crucial. I think he was looking for a basement drop kick there. Chantel Jordan able to escape, and a vicious rising knee lift right off that left knee, bouncing off the chrome dome. And a beautiful Penta driver from Chantel Jordan. Just a 2 count as Connor Mills shows why he's true grit, able to escape right before that. And ultimately, a 15-minute time limit. Time is slowly evaporating here. Troy Grant, I mean, obviously, you've got to think with a 15-minute time limit and with the knockout rules in effect as well, it would serve a competitor very well to try and end a match very early doors here at TSUYOI Prologue.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not much time for a kind of long drawn-out strategy or game plan. It's, yeah, just get him to tap as quickly as possible or a knockout. But
there's nothing fancy about that, frankly. I mean, he put the brakes on, he captured that ankle once again, and then just a stiff kick right to the midsection. And oh my God, Claymore kick right into the face. And there you saw the acceleration of offense. Well, that's what Chantel Jordan does bring in buckets and spades, is a heart and desire. And now I think Connor Mills is looking to finish this one with a PK right across the chest. Pinfall combination. Once again, Chantel Jordan able to fly out, but it could just be academic.
Can't tell the leg applied.
Well, we mentioned MMA training, didn't we? And this is something that people might be familiar with a number of MMA promotions, including the vaunted UFC. And this is something that Connor Mills has done. He likes to snap, he likes to tap, he likes to crack. That's what he likes to do. He likes to manipulate. And there's that rope break, and let's not forget.
One we've seen.
That's exactly, as Troy Grant has pointed out, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first one. And meanwhile, Chantel Jordan with a roll through, but Connor Mills able to escape and staying on his back, so comfortable, into a beautiful reverse triangle choke, and now transitioning into a hammerlock armbar, into a, well, frankly, it's pretzel time, baby. Let's be honest. That's, oh my God, with an ankle lock applied as well. Chantel Jordan, middle earring, nowhere to go. That's a submission. That's someone has screamed uncle there.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Josh Wallace is going to stop this contest due to a tap out.
Wow.
And your winner, True Grit, Connor Mills!
Connor Mills showing exactly why he is true grit. A valiant effort, has to be said, by Chantel Jordan, but we have seen just how dangerous this is, and Connor Mills already setting out his stall as one of the most lethal competitors in TSUYOI Prologue, and I think Connor Mills begrudgingly offering a bit of respect to Chantel Jordan. There aren't many people that can hang with Connor Mills when he's in that kind of form.
Yeah, outstanding performance there, but hats off to Chantel Jordan.
First, the competitor to my right, hailing from Watford, repping the Lions' pride, Freddie Blackstone! And introducing his opponent to my left, hailing from Deptford, repping
Troy Grant, we had a very, very scintillating and very technically sound contest between Chantel Jordan and Connor Mills to open up TSUYOI Prologue, and now we have something with a little bit more meat on the bone, ladies and gentlemen. Damon Moser versus Freddie Blackstone, two of the hardest and most violent individuals, and it's obvious who the favorite is, representing Commando Judo right now, and that is Damon Moser, an individual who's been out of the game for a long time. Do you think that's going to have some effect here against Freddie Blackstone?
Normally I would say yeah, but I feel like, I'm sure recently I saw that he's actually gone up a belt in judo, and so, you know, still in there, maybe not in the ring, but certainly, you know, harnessing the craft of judo. But it needs to be known, both of these guys students of the judo games, so this will be really real interesting match to see how they, you know, come up against each other and counter each other, both coming from exactly the same discipline.
Yeah, you saw Damon Moser right at the get-go trying to shoot for the leg, and Blackstone able to put a block on and now looking to apply a hammerlock. And again, we're seeing some very textbook judo-esque performance here. A lot of people will be used to the technical wrestling game of professional wrestling as a whole. Referee Carl Williams obviously in charge of this one-on-one matchup, and Blackstone looking for a submission early doors with the head scissors applied, looking to chicken wing Damon Moser. And Damon Moser, by the way, has been in this game a long time. You see that lovely counter there into a headlock pinning combination, but the shoulder he's off the canvas, and Blackstone very close to the ropes right now, but maybe not wanting to burn one of these rope breaks we spoke about, because you only get 3.
Absolutely, yeah. It's still way too early in the match to be giving up a rope break, in my opinion. I don't think either one of these guys will be in too much of a hurry to do that.
No, both of these individuals extremely competent, extremely comfortable, being on their backs, being on their fronts, working, and now we see the rope break, and Damon Moser happy to burn his first rope break, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. And Damon Moser, I think, is a little bit surprised at the prowess of Blackstone, who, by the way, is thick with double C, ladies and gentlemen. An absolute man-mountain he is. And Damon Moser not used to giving up too much weight. And don't forget, open weight rules here at TSUYOI Prologue in our first contest for TSUYOI Wrestling. Our second contest, excuse me, but our first show. Damon Moser smartly isolating the arm and now looking to put some torque on that left wrist of Freddie Blackstone. And are we going to see a power advantage here? It looks like Blackstone very, very easily able to escape and apply a hammerlock submission of his own. And now once again, Damon Moser really struggling to get any kind of footing early on in this matchup, but that certainly will help. Arm drag over the top. Yeah, right back to that headlock once again. And as we know from MMA training, professional wrestling, any form of combat, if you can isolate the head, then it completely controls the rest of the body.
An excellent job of that at the moment. It seems to be the only way he's getting a footing in this match is just controlling the head, because Blackstone's been all over him.
Well, yeah, this isn't exactly textbook judo, although it is worth pointing out Damon Moser extremely affluent in MMA. I know Damon Moser very well from my time trolling up and down the country, witnessing multiple events, competing events as well. Damon Moser, interestingly enough, at the first ever show. Now we got a rope break, almost by design, isn't it? Frankly, he's burned himself a rope break there, just solely out of ring positioning.
Yeah, just rolled him into that and forced the rope break almost.
Now, I think a lot of people might be asking why we're mentioning rope breaks, and that's because once you've burned all 3 of your rope breaks, essentially the referee has no choice but to continue the contest, which means that you can be submitted, excuse me, even if you are in the ropes, because once those 3 rope breaks have been burned, well, frankly, it's anything goes. Beautiful snap, roll through, almost like a German from the base. And I think Damon Moser certainly not appreciating that. Not entirely sure if that classifies as a rope break, because he's gone right through the ropes to the outside. I mean, obviously, Carl Williams, it'll be referee's discretion. And Blackstone looks extremely comfortable in this contest. It's very obvious who is the most popular man in this matchup. Damon Moser, of course, has a lot of backing here at the new cross-in for TSUYOI Wrestling. Double leg takedown by Blackstone, trying to look for a pinfall combination. Very smart by Damon Moser, though, immediately shooting his shoulder off of the canvas, not allowing Blackstone the opportunity for a pinning combination. But again, he's given up his back. Something that you cannot afford to do in any kind of MMA-based environment.
And I think also talk about the size advantage here as well. That position's absolutely going to work in Freddie's favour. But I say that, he's managed to turn it out. He's got a heel hook locked in here.
Yeah, lovely variation on the ankle lock from Damon Moser, and that is something that certainly will not suit Freddie Blackstone, as Damon Moser forces a rope break, and that's another one burned. Yes, indeed. He's only got 1 left, and now it becomes a tactical game. I mean, you know, Troy Grant, you're very aware of this form of combat. You're very adept at MMA in your own right. Is it advisable this early on in a matchup to have burned all of these rope breaks, or is it a necessity when we consider just how dangerous Damon Moser is?
I think, considering how dangerous he is, as you say, it's, you don't want to be giving those up too easily, but he's not been given any other choice.
Yeah, one thing we have not seen here is a side suplex.
Wow.
Dropping him right in the back and the neck, and now Damon Moser with a very low base, a low center of gravity, pops the hips, hits that German suplex, and now going for a waist lock and a chokehold variation. An underhook here. Referee Carl Williams in perfect position, and referee Carl Williams has been really plying his trade as one of the best referees in this country, and he's going to have his eyes wide open. Is this a different prospect as well for our referees? They're not used to officiating something like this, which is more MMA based, more ground based, as we see the triangle choke from Freddie Blackstone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no better referee to adapt to this style of match than Carl Williams, but yeah, it's different for everyone. I mean, you've got a lot of these guys that come from judo backgrounds and you know, that MMA background, so they'll be familiar with some of this, but within that wrestling context, yeah, it's certainly a different kettle of fish, and the referees have really got to be on their toes and be looking out for things that they probably wouldn't normally do in your regular wrestling match, regular wrestling rules.
Well, something that's really impressed me in this match, I have to say, is the fact that Freddie Blackstone has done a very good job of grounding Damon Moser, who's now looking for, once again, another rope break, and I think Blackstone is able to isolate the arm, and that might be a godsend. It very much depends on a submission, and now we see the torque, the manipulation of the fingers from Blackstone here, very Pete Dunne-esque.
See, what's interesting there is he was reaching for the rope. He could have let him burn through another rope break there, but instead he's decided to try and submit him. I'm not sure whether that was the right decision or not, but it's interesting to see. Oh, I think he's broken it there.
Damon Moser got his foot on the bottom rope, which means that is a rope break. And I'm fairly sure that might be his third rope break, depending on obviously the...
If the other one counts where he rolled under...
Yeah, it does. It very much depends on whether Carl Williams has adjudicated that he has made contact with the ropes to force a break when he rolled out earlier in this contest. And now the striking begins. Our first real strike of the contest. A stiff European uppercut into the corner. And this audience not particularly enjoyed it. Oh, wow, vicious palm strike as well. Double palm strike from Blackstone. And it looks like Blackstone certainly is enjoying a favourable advantage when it comes to a stand-up game and a striking game.
Any technicality of this match or any kind of smoothness and judo transitions have gone out the window with those.
I think now we're getting to some serious posturing here, and Damon Moser, I think, damn near is looking to test, and now some open palm strikes. Got to be very careful with a closed fist, of course, when it comes to professional wrestling. A European uppercut to boot, and now Moser is looking to tee off on Blackstone and make an example of this absolute Leviathan here at TSUYOI Wrestling.
Oh, he's nearly rolled into the back of his head on that last one.
The nasty try, don't forget, knockout rules. Pinfall combination, just a one count once again, and both men very alert when it comes to, beautiful arm bar transition. He's got the butcher's grip, though, looking to put a block. That is designed exclusively to alleviate pressure from an arm bar position, something that our MMA aficionados will recognise all too well, as Damon Moser is looking for a submission here. Blackstone, I think, was very aware that he could have had a hyperextended shoulder, a hyperextended elbow in that position. Now just prattling up, rolling up like a flapjack. Damon Moser looking for a pinfall combination. Now he's got himself into a double leg situation, perhaps looking for a big swing of all things here.
Whoa. At this stage in the match, I'm not sure he's got enough left in him to get that round. And just spent the last couple of moments knocking the jaws off each other. And
I think one of the things that people will notice with this as well is with open weight rules, people would assume that a bigger man will have an advantage, but it all comes down to gas tank as well. Big men notoriously and traditionally tend to have a much harder time when it comes to sucking in air in terms of professional wrestling. They're not going to suck in much. Instead of a kneecap
is he out?
Right to the chin. He could potentially be out. He certainly looks like he's in serious trouble.
Referee's counting here, isn't he?
Yeah, both men are struggling to find their way. This is not a rope break, of course, ladies and gentlemen, because Damon Moser is already separated from Freddie Blackstone. But that knee strike has created a lot of separation. I think Freddie Blackstone's removed he's removed that gum shield, I think, to try and test. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Most people would be needing some serious dental coverage after a collision like that from Damon Moser, and a European uppercut certainly isn't going to help that predicament. I don't think a beard of that exceptional variety is going to absorb that much punishment at the hands of Damon Moser, and a beautiful guillotine choke applied.
This could be it.
Absolutely good. You've got to be very careful. Carl Williams looking at the hands, the arms of Freddie Blackstone. Violent guillotine choke applied, but I think he was looking to power out and lift himself up, and that is going to take a lot with the dead weight of Damon Moser. And now a beautiful anaconda-like vice.
That's locked him deep. He rolled over. But he used the rope break.
Yes, he has.
And that's his final one.
Yeah, referee Carl Williams exercising that 5 count, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, technical fouls also something that we haven't had to witness yet, but technical fouls are also in play here. 3 strikes and you're out, essentially. Fisher, speaking of strikes, oh my God, he's out cold. Absolutely out cold. Freddie Blackstone is caught in flush.
Referee Carl Williams put a stop to this contest.
From
Here's your
nowhere,
winner
the hesitation.
by knockout, Freddie Blackstone!
Audience aren't impressed, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. Freddie Blackstone took full advantage of the fact that his guard was down. Damon Moser dropped his guard and Blackstone knocked him out flush, and credit to Carl Williams, who was able to get straight in there and determine a knockout. Damon Moser has no clue where he is, and Freddie Blackstone, dare I say, picking up an extremely impressive victory over Damon Moser by knockout.
Crowd there showing all the love for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation for Damon Moser!
Damon Moser struggling. I don't think he has any clue where he is, but the bottom line is he was just knocked out flush for a moment by that vicious left roundhouse. And Freddie Blackstone has knocked off Damon Moser.
TSUYOI Openweight Division, your referee is still Kyle William. Your first competitor to my right, hailing from London, repping from the ground up and the Rev Pro Dojo, the wrestling engineer, Ronnie Knox! And introducing her opponent to my left, hailing from Coventry, representing Eve Wrestling, she is the Princess Diana of Pro Wrestling, it's Jetta!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Aaron Nix alongside Troy Grant. All women's wrestling matchup here. What a unique combination of professional wrestlers we have on tap here. And of course, you might have noticed there, Troy Grant, no love for Coventry, my man. No love.
Disappointing to hear. Disappointing to hear.
Obviously
People
not
like
aware.
Jetta playing Coventry on the maps, obviously not aware of the Canada that we have in this neck of the woods.
I think a lot of people are hearing Princess Diana and thinking, okay, we've got ourselves a diva on our hands, but when you wrestle at Eve Wrestling, that means you are one of the best women's wrestlers in the country. But speaking of best women's wrestlers, Ronnie Knox is just one of the best wrestlers, full stop. The engineer looking to severely slow down the juggernaut and the exceptional pace that Jetta has set in her career to this date. Headlock applied by Jetta. Referee Carl Williams once again in charge of this one-on-one contest here at TSUYOI Wrestling Prologue, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, let's be honest, Troy Grant, we are very familiar when it comes to Ronnie Knox, and I think Jetta is also familiar, and that's why she's looking to damn near decapitate things early doors.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been privileged enough to call several of Ronnie's matches over the last few years. She's absolutely fantastic. Seen her go up against numerous competitors of different shapes, sizes, weights and whatnot. And it's first pinfall here, only at 1. It feels like the TSUYOI rules are very much in the court of Ronnie Knox. We call her the engineer, and we can see here that headlock applied beautifully. No light getting through there. Brilliantly locked in. Good reversal though.
Yeah, that's something that, I mean, Jetta is very capable as a technical wrestler, but she's known for a smash mouth mentality. And like you say, Ronnie Knox, somebody who likes to grapple, somebody who likes to take the game to the floor. She's called the wrestling engineer for a reason, because she can dissect. She is a mechanic of professional wrestling. She will get into the body of things, and she will tinker, and she will manipulate. And that's exactly what she's doing with fantastic wrist lock control, something that she's learning under the guise of Shah Samuels at the Rev Pro Dojo in London, which is obviously far more favourable apparently. Of course, we are in London, so that's probably beneficial. No love for Coventry, as we've already pointed out. TG Media at ringside for this magnificent contest, the very best when it comes to videography in this game. Lovely roll through, looking to alleviate pressure on the wrist lock is Ronnie Knox, and look at the headstand. You can see the look on Jetta's face. Beautiful, using that left toe to create separation and apply an armbar of her own, and that is something that Ronnie Knox is very capable of doing. But Jetta here with a beautiful Regal-esque stretch, looking to hyperextend the left shoulder of Ronnie Knox, and this is going to be very, very smart. In the ropes now, referee Carl Williams got to apply. Oh, wow, okay,
that's that smash lifestyle you spoke about.
Yeah, we were talking about the Princess Diana of professional wrestling as a real action. I think Ronnie Knox appreciates the attitude of Jetta, who cuts her off once again with a kick to the midsection. Beautiful snap, suplex applied. Maintaining that grip. Yes, indeed. A little homage to the legendary Eddie Guerrero here at TSUYOI Wrestling, and now looking for the third one. A fisherman suplex applied. Beautiful butcher's grip. I'll tell you what, almost a 3 count, very early doors, and Jetta showing that she's absolutely no slouch when it comes to the technique that is professional wrestling. And Jetta, dare I say, the first competitor here this afternoon at the New Cross Inn, who is utilising her mouth just as well as her technical prowess. And Ronnie Knox completely taken out of her game right now by Eve Wrestling's Jetta. Knox, so he was able to, oh wow, she was looking for an escape, and Jetta using the hair there, and Carl Williams admonishing her for that, and the referee, obviously, Carl Williams, very, very astute in the game of professional wrestling, will have a keen eye on any kind of shenanigans, and a lovely spinning neck breaker applied and maintaining that position, Troy.
Fantastic.
Oh, last chancery is applied. Last chancery submission, and the reason she's gone into that bridge is to apply maximum pressure. Chin lock chancery applied to Ronnie Knox. The engineer finds herself grounded. Very smart there, creating separation on the fingers. I'll tell you what, Jetta has come in with a real bad attitude, and Ronnie Knox is looking to turn this thing into a Pier 6 brawl early doors at the New Cross Inn. In full attempt by Jetta, just a 2 count, and Ronnie Knox, as we've seen and as you've mentioned so many times, loves a good scrap, loves a good fight, and he's very much used to being the underdog, particularly when it comes to open weight rules in professional wrestling, Troy.
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, Synagurd against ladies 2-3 times her size and match them step for step, hit for hit, move for move.
We've seen Jetta has very much commandeered this matchup, and a headlock applied with, again, I was mentioning that butcher's grip, when you wrap your fingers around each other to apply more pressure. A real advanced technique of professional wrestling. That's a real throwback to the world of sports. Ronnie Knox again looking to escape, and again Jetta, lovely straight jacket applied, but Ronnie Knox has found a counter to a counter and hyperextends the arm beautifully, and now looking for a roll with potential. I think she was looking for a master cradle, but opted for a cravat using her legs and causing some serious damage to that left arm is Ronnie Knox.
Yeah, she's not going to be doing much with that arm after this. She is doing damage.
A single arm straight jacket applied with a chicken wing variation from Ronnie Knox to Jetta, looking for a submission here. And don't forget, you can win by pinfall knockout submission using the ropes, and a beautiful code breaker catches Ronnie Knox flush. Could be it, yes indeed, and Ronnie Knox able to escape right before the 3 count.
Needed that kind of break because he was close to tapping out there. Knox again working the arm really well, but
Jetta has been obsessed with that straight jacket variation, but Ronnie Knox, stunner in the arm, dropping down, hyperextending, and now potentially looking for a code red maybe, or what in God's name is going on here? Well, it's a code red submission variation with both arms wrapped up, and I think Jetta, one arm is free by the way, and now
she's mentioned that right.
Oh, look out, and there's a tap right there. Hyperextending the shoulder, and just like that, Ronnie Knox.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Carl Williams has got to stop this contest due to submission. Your winner, Ronnie Knox!
The engineer with the oil change of a lifetime has just knocked off Jetta with that brutal submission variation from the Cobra position. And have you ever seen somebody cause a submission like that?
His first opponent in the corner to my left, hailing from Bermondsey, South London. He is the prolific James Mason. And his opponent in the corner to my right. He hails from East London. Representing the London School of Wrestling, he is the East End Butcher, Shaw Samuels.
How do you like a little bit of legend at your doorstep? Troy Grant, Amara Nix. It is a one-on-one contest between two icons of British wrestling. The East End Butcher Shaw Samuels with the braces, as always. Coming out of East End London, of course, facing South London's finest, the prolific, the most technical of wizards, that is James Mason.
I'm not sure how serious Shah is taking this. He seems to be more interested in what the people on the outside are saying.
I mean, that's Shaw Samuels in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mason is extremely prolific. I've had the honour, the privilege of training and working under both of these individuals, as you have as well. And James Mason and Shaw Samuels, this is a real money matchup. And I tell you what, there's a lot of talk here from Shaw Samuels, as you mentioned. I mean, Shaw Samuels, to his credit, has made an entire career off of running his mouth. He's been to the big dance, and now he's training the next generation at the London School of Wrestling. But James Mason is every generation when it comes to professional wrestling, and this is going to be an absolute masterpiece if the tail of the tape has anything to say about it. And there we go, James Mason looking to apply wrist lock control and manipulation of the wrist, the fingers, the elbow. This is what has made James Mason, for 25 years plus, one of the best technical wrestlers already. A rope break, that's one out of three. 1 out of 3 for Shaw Samuels.
Within the first minute of the match? Wow.
Yeah, that's what James Mason does. And I would argue that in terms of technical prowess, nobody has more skill, more adaptation and more experience in TSUYOI wrestling as we present Prologue than James Mason. And Shaw Samuels is going to have to bring his A game. There's not going to be too many fun and games here as James Mason with beautiful head scissors escape. That's James Mason in a nutshell, and a rope break already again. That's 2 in 2 minutes. Well, Shaw Samuels has 1 rope break left. And I'll tell you what, James Mason is absolutely chomping at a bit. He knows he's got Shaw Samuels on the ropes, quite literally.
He is shook.
And the East End Butcher, I don't think was, like you say, dare I say, taking this a little bit too lightly. Lovely go behind by Shaw Samuels to James Mason. But James Mason has quite literally wrestled an hour without touching the ropes. This is the Iron Man when it comes to technical professional wrestling. And if there isn't an escape, he knows. Well, frankly, it's not worth knowing. Lovely variation there, floating over. Shaw Samuels with a headlock applied, looking to, dare I say, cut off some of the circulation to James Mason here. Oh, look at that power of James Mason just launching Shaw Samuels up, and just like that, easily escapes. And there's your third and final rope break, Troy.
Wow. I didn't think we'd be seeing all 3 of his used this quickly on. That is a surprise. But, as you say, there isn't a hold that James Mason doesn't know, and how else are you going to get out of it in this situation?
I mean, James Mason is as fluid a technician as it comes, a real student of this game. And there's the rope break, and there's nothing that the referee can do. Shaw Samuels, I think, has realised that. But James Mason now can talk, he can distract, he can manipulate, he can dissect as much as he pleases, and there will be no rope breaks. And now into a variation of the Fujiwara armbar is James Mason. And now look at the manipulation on the joints once again. And Shah Samuels in serious trouble. Dare I say, getting taken to school. Lovely kip-up counter into a wrist lock of his own to the legendary and prolific James Mason, who rather casually causes a rope break.
The most casual rope break I think you'll ever see.
Quite literally the lounge variation of the rope. Oh boy, Shah Samuels, I think, has had enough of the disrespect in his eyes and now shoving James Mason, and I don't think James Mason is going to appreciate such disrespect. And man, normally Shah, oh wow, just shove on his keister. Big shove indeed. Headlock applied. Now James Mason looks to quicken the base. Shoulder block comes off the ropes. Shah Samuels was looking for the sweep. Sidesteps James Mason, looking for the hip toss. Countered, hip toss of his own by James Mason, and a double palm strike to the chest. And oh boy, James Mason is fired up, and Shah Samuels can sit in the ropes all he wants, but James Mason, dare I say...
Mason would have been well within his rights to go from there as well, with no rope breaks left.
But he is the gentleman, isn't he? A professional wrestler. Maybe he thought discretion was the better part of valor, and that's why James Mason didn't continue to apply the pressure. And it's pretty obvious who everyone's favourite here in South London is. Of course, hailing just down the road in Bermondsey is James Mason. But ultimately, I don't think it matters, frankly, where James Mason's from. He could be from Timbuktu. He's always going to be extremely popular. One of the most likeable men in pro wrestling, and a test of strength called. Oh wow!
Oh, that's a close fist, is it not?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? And Shah Samuels would know all about that. The referee, I believe, is giving a technical foul to Shah Samuels. And of course, 3 strikes and you're out, ladies and gentlemen. Back elbow catches James Mason flush, and Shah Samuels, whether you like it or not, took the opportunity when he struck James Mason in the face, and that is what has created separation and has got him back into this contest.
Yeah, basically doesn't really have an answer for him, and having to resort to literally breaking the rules and with that closed fist shows you he's really got him on the ropes. Although he's in control here, he doesn't seem to have too much of an answer for James Mason when he does pick up that momentum.
Yeah, chin lock applied by Shah Samuels. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he's no scrub, but over 20 years of professional excellence in the wrestling game. There's a reason he's heading up the London School of Professional Wrestling. And James Mason, all the while he's got an opportunity, he's going to fight. And it is another one, and it's a close fist, and our referee letting it be known that is a second. And now Shah Samuels has to be extremely careful, because although this has paid some dividends, he now finds himself with one more strike and he'll get disqualified, and that is not something I think anyone was expecting in a matchup at this level. Oh wow, a smack to the face. Open palm, by the way, by James Mason, who's very understanding of the rules. Kick to the midsection, rising knee lift, catches Shah Samuels flush, who cuts him off at the pass and drives his head into the top turnbuckle.
It just feels like it's more frustration now from Shah Samuels. Any technical strength this match has gone out the window now, and it's Shah turned this into a bit of a fight, I think.
Shah Samuels, I've noticed, is trying to take any shortcut possible. Elbow drop applied. This is what Shah Samuels likes. Pinfall combination, right, just like that. James Mason able to get a shoulder off the canvas, not even allowing. I think he's, dare I say, poking the bear a little bit, but that's what James Mason does. Somebody who is able to create separation out of minimal effort. Lovely counter into a pinfall combination, and Shah Samuels is able to escape and drives the elbow into James Mason once again. A real variation in styles here. The East End Butcher, this is what he's been doing for the best part of 20 years on the streets on the East End of London. He loves to brawl, European uppercut. And meanwhile, James Mason, no slouch, throwing hands at the careful now, careful.
He's going for it.
He was going for it. He got caught flush with a roll up there. James Mason, beautiful roll up applied. Shah Samuels almost got caught. Uses the back elbow to regain control, and we saw he was ready to tee off, take a swing. And if he had done so with a closed fist, he would have been disqualified from this contest. Referee's discretion, a third technical foul, and he would have been out. Scoop slam. Nasty, nasty landing for James Mason, coming down on that elbow and shoulder, and that's not something that you want to... Oh man, Shah Samuels barking at the referee, asking him to move. Oh, looking to drop the elbow. James Mason able to escape. Fascinating variation of styles here, Troy. The East End Butcher looking to brawl his way to victory against the technical classic, the marvel that is the prolific James Mason.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be working. Oh, lovely clothesline. And another takedown. Beautiful drop kick. Doesn't seem to be working out too well. He can't seem to keep his emotions in check here. He's mouthing off at the referee, mouthing off at the crowd, using the closed fist.
Yeah, rising knee lifter now, an Irish whip into the corner. James Mason sends Shah Samuels into the turnbuckle, counters with a back elbow, trying to create some separation. And James Mason catches him flush with a hip toss. Didn't get as much as he would like. Beautiful rolling senton. I've seen him knock off so many people with that rolling senton, and he's done just that. He's done just that, beating Shah Samuels flush. James Mason has done what he's been doing for the best part of 25 years, beating legends and whippersnappers alike. And the East End Butcher got caught flush, and I couldn't help but notice Jake O'Grady from Catch 22 under the guise of Mike Bird, no doubt here to support Mike Bird, looking on, very impressed with what he saw. And James Mason picks up a hell of a victory just down the road. A nice short jaunt back home.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event for TSUYOI Wrestling Prologue! Your referee in charge of this contest is Kyle Williams. First, introducing the gentleman to my right, hailing from London, representing Snake Pit Wigan, he is the Prestige James Farrell! And his opponent, in the corner to my left, hailing from Newport, South Wales, representing Catch 22. No, it's Catch 22. It's on his fucking shirt. No, go and stand by there. Go and stand by there so you can read it. Representing Catch 22. He is Mike Bird!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the main event of TSUYOI Prologue. TSUYOI Professional Wrestling really has made a name for itself already here at its first show here at the New Cross Inn in South London, and talk about a main event like no other. There's nothing quite like a bit of brand awareness, is there, Troy Grant, when Catch 22 is in the house under the guise of Mike Bird.
Yeah, big fan of Catch 22.
Yeah, Catch 22, big fan, big fans. Please don't. I look forward to your DMs, Mike Bird. And I'll tell you what, somebody who's not interested in fun and games is the Prestige James Farrell, who has been blazing a trail. Referee Carl Williams in charge of this one-on-one contest. And if you're after the technical classic to end technical classics, this is what you have arrived for, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Bird at Catch 22 against the Snake Pit, the vaunted Snake Pit's own James Farrell. Ladies and gentlemen, James Farrell, who obviously WrestleForce fans will be extremely familiar with, lovely pinfall combination. James Farrell has become an elite athlete in this game, but this is going to be a real test of his mettle, isn't it, Troy? Catch 22's own Mike Bird.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as well as a lot of other people, I am a big advocate for Mike Bird. I will sing his praises from the hills 7 days a week, but he's got quite the opponent here in James Farrell. We called a few of his matches before up and down the country. A fantastic talent. Looking to ply his trade now more in this catch style wrestling. I think he's going to be going over to maybe Europe and Japan later this year. So, yeah, what a great test of his skills here against one of the country's absolute best. And what a way to round off this first TSUYOI show.
Yes, TSUYOI Prologue has really delivered when it comes to technical excellence martial arts-based professional wrestling. There's a real blood sport appeal to what TSUYOI Wrestling is looking to develop here in South London, and nothing can really test the mettle and the nature of that game more so than James Farrell, the Prestige versus Catch-22's Mike Bird, and Jake O'Grady even giving himself a chance to get some brand awareness. I'm sure he gets some points of training for that, but right now there are no points involved. And look at the audacity and the weight and the leverage of James Farrell. And by the way, when you're trained at Snake Pit, that is truly one of the most vaunted and most dangerous dojos in all of professional wrestling. That is where true, rich, true, hardcore professional wrestling has been plying its trade. The most physical dungeon, the most physical dojo. I reminisce about Snake Pit, very similar to Stu Hart's dungeon in Calgary before it was unfortunately sold and closed down forevermore. And James Farrell's a real throwback to that era, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. You only have to look at the list of names that have come out of the Snake Pit Wigan. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, James Farrell. Lovely underhook applied by Mike Bird. And James Farrell is one of the most rabid and dangerous competitors. You might have noticed as well, no knee pads for James Farrell. Lovely MMA cross coverage there, wrapping up the neck, looking for a pinfall combination. Mike Bird has to be very careful. His shoulders aren't pinned to the canvas. Referee Carl Williams in perfect position as always.
Yeah, no knee pads. He's a braver man than I am.
Yeah, we've seen some of the most dangerous. I tell you what, you can really test the mettle of an individual based on whether they're using knee pads or not. Look at that stretch. Look at the manipulation involved. And now an armbar. And Mike Bird underneath the ropes. And there's the first rope break of this contest. James Farrell burns his first rope break.
Mike Bird asking, does that count as a break? Because I don't know how much of that was intentional or not. It was difficult to tell there, but I think he has counted that.
Yes, we saw in our opening contest as well, and indeed contests since then. And
I think he's given the rope break to Mike.
I think he has.
Mike just said, oh man, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Bird looking very disappointed in that. Mike Bird is somebody who's lovely fireman's carry into a single grab, looking to really test. And Mike Bird trying to put the block on, and that is so. Look at that lovely head, that leg scissors wrapped around those extraordinary thigh muscles of James Farrell. And now both men looking to submit each other with similar leg locks applied. And this is something you might have noticed as well. James Farrell looking to utilize his extremely long and dangerous limbs here.
Yeah,
very smart.
The reach advantage here in the legs and arms department, that's for sure.
Yeah, Mike Bird, a very stocky individual, a very capable individual, but James Farrell is really going to test his mettle. The pride of Wales, Mike Bird against James Farrell, London's finest when it comes to technical wrestling, the Prestige, one of the most dangerous, most rabid competitors in all of professional wrestling. The word cerebral gets thrown around a lot, and you might have noticed a very nasty knee strike there from Mike Bird, a quick variation, and now looking to knot up the left leg of James Farrell.
Oh, that's not in a nice position at all.
And James Farrell looking to create a split there. How do you like?
Given as good as he gets.
Yeah, a little bit of Norton Crosses action here from James Farrell, Mike Bird, and Mike Bird now looking to create some separation, looking to kick out the arms, and nothing fancy about this. No flippy dippy nonsense here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid this is ground-based professional wrestling in its absolute finest, and none more so than Mike Bird and James Farrell when it comes to the technical prowess. And well, if you're feeling a little bit dehydrated, which is understandable watching this matchup, I can help but notice there's water in the corner, but neither of these men are going to have the opportunity to take on water when the other is looking to stretch them out. Lovely variation of the leg lock here from James Farrell once again, who seems to be in perfect position. However, ring positioning, ring awareness, and you notice Mike Bird very unwilling to utilize the ropes to create a rope break despite being extremely close and no doubt having the opportunity, and that's because James Farrell is using those limbs to block any kind of rope break from Mike Bird.
Yeah, you gotta believe like neither one of these guys through sheer pride are gonna want to give away a rope break. You can see how disappointed Mike was earlier to give away that one, whether it was intentional or not. Yeah.
Beautiful separation created there by Mike Bird, but that back suplex drops James Farrell right on his neck. And that's something that we haven't seen much of tonight. There hasn't been a lot of smash mouth style here. It's all been very ground based, and these rules are pretty much designed with that in mind, to really take us back to the true purest combat essence of what professional wrestling is. And look at the cravat and the chin lock applied by Mike Bird, and James Farrell's neck is being cranked in a position that most of us would frankly need a chiropractor to enjoy any kind of alleviation from. And Mike Bird and James Farrell really test out. And once again, I spoke about that cravat, and there's something about Mike Bird that makes him one of the most dangerous professional wrestlers in the world, and that is the variations of these submission holds. He has completely modified them to suit his style of professional wrestling, and that's something he's looking to pass on at the Catch-22 dojo in Kent. In full applied, but Mike Bird once again using leverage has James Farrell the prestige grounded. And is it fair to say, Troy Grant, that James Farrell might have finally met his match when it comes to technical prowess in professional wrestling?
Absolutely, yeah. There isn't, I've said this before, there isn't a move that Mike Bird doesn't know, and yeah, you're going to have a real hard time trying to match him here. He has absolutely met his match.
Last chance re-effect, beautiful bridge there, applying so much torque and pressure to the hammerlock. And this is what James Farrell does. He takes the most basic of professional wrestling maneuvers and makes them extraordinary with his legendary knowledge, which he's gained, of course, in Wigan's Snake Pit. There are a number of Catch-22 students in the house to watch Mike Bird ply his trade, and I think James Farrell was looking for a pinfall combination, but no, Mike Bird able to counter beautifully. 1 count only. Oh my God. A giant whoopsie. A little John Tentor-esque behavior and a pinfall combination, but I'll tell you what, nothing fancy about it, but very effective, driving that posterior, all of that lower back right through the base of the spine of James Farrell. Now just looking to gouge, and a vicious elbow strike right across the face. Carl Williams paying close attention, our referee, in this one-on-one contest. Your main event here at TSUYOI Prologue Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, and what a fantastic advertisement for what TSUYOI Wrestling is looking to bring to the table when it comes to professional wrestling in London. Double underhook and a lovely overhead suplex by Mike Bird. Pinning combination once again. James Farrell able to escape, and Mike Bird is not allowing any kind of escape, and another pinfall attempt. And even if James Farrell kicks out, he's expending a lot of energy, expending that gas tank. He's really trying to suck in air, and this is something that we've recognized in professional wrestling. When someone of the likes of Mike Bird applies all that weight and pressure on you, it is so hard to get any air into the lungs and create any kind of offense. Lovely fireman's carry escape.
Get him over there. Like, at this stage in the match, it's been so grounded and taking so much energy from each other. To have that energy to just whip him up and over as quickly as he did is absolute testament to the caliber of athlete that he is.
Yeah, they call it a snake pit for a reason. The heat inside Wigan Snake Pit, the dojo, lovely head scissors looking to recreate some sort of leverage on the neck of James Farrell. And James Farrell is used to running through competitors in London. I thought he might have been looking for a tap out there, but actually he's looking for a feeling out process, looking to try and create a break in that nasty looking variation of the wrist lock. And he's really putting some torque on the wrist. And this is exactly something that Mike Bird is going to want to do. And now look at this. James Farrell with the weight, and now goes right back to that leg lock, that anaconda-like vice, the scissors around the leg, and looking to create torque, looking to create separation. And by separation, I mean separation of ligaments and tendons. James Farrell looking to snap the pedigree of Mike Bird here in our main event of TSUYOI Wrestling. And Mike Bird is able to counter somehow into a variation of the figure 4 leg lock out of absolutely nowhere.
I told you, there isn't a move that this man doesn't know. He's had to use the rope break.
Yeah, he has. He's burned a rope break, and I mean, understandably so. That is a polite round of applause. This crowd have almost been stunned into excellence by Mike Bird and James Farrell, who are putting on an instant classic here at TSUYOI Wrestling Prologue. Lovely takedown, but James Farrell not allowing Mike Bird too much opportunity to gain leverage. But this has been as even a contest as you could ask. Lovely swinging neck breaker creates the separation. How many offensive moves have we seen that haven't been submission or ground-based here? Pinfall attempt. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Oh, indeed. Mike Bird dropping that knee right across the back of James Farrell's head. And don't forget, knockouts are a part of TSUYOI professional wrestling. Knockout, pinfall, submission. Carl Williams checking the timer. 15-minute time limit for every contest here at TSUYOI professional wrestling. TSUYOI Wrestling Prologue really has delivered something different right out of the gate here in South London. You saw the manipulation using the knuckles there. Mike Bird with a stiff little strike goes unwarranted by referee Carl Williams, and now a full Nelson, almost a hurt lock applied. Lovely full Nelson technique, creating torque on the shoulders and the neck of James Farrell.
He's having a real, well, I was going to say he's having a tough time trying to find a way out. Wow, he is, because he's right back into it.
Well, that's something that Mike Bird does. He's able to somehow push you right back into these submissions. He's able to reapply a full Nelson, and James Farrell, in the last couple of minutes, especially in this contest, has found himself under extreme duress, courtesy of the Welsh Wizard, Catch-22's own Mike Bird. Full Nelson lock applied once again. The neck is so important to everything we do in professional wrestling. James Farrell looking to use the ropes to counter that Survivor Series S pin. Beautiful roll through. Pinning combination almost got Mike Bird flush. And now, speaking of flush, European uppercut right to the chin. And again, and James Farrell and Mike Bird are beginning to tee off as the 15-minute time limit is getting closer and closer to an expiration.
Yeah, I wondered how long it'd be before they just kind of turned it into a bit of a slobber knocker.
Well, that's exactly why the 15-minute time limit is there. It kind of creates a real sense of urgency. Lovely variation of the German suplex, back belly to back applied by James Farrell to Mike Bird. Well, creating waist on once again. Beautiful German suplex by James Farrell, who maintains wrist lock control of Mike Bird, but he's expending a lot of energy. Carl Williams, of course, the referee for this contest, keeping a very close eye on proceedings. Clubbed to the back by James Farrell once again, trying to debilitate Mike Bird. And there's the hat trick of Germans, and he's still got the waist lock applied, Troy.
Wow. Yeah, at this stage of the match, I don't know how you're finding that much energy to get a man of Mike Bird's size up and over as well.
This is why he's called the Prestige. He believes in the honor and the prestige of professional wrestling. Just James Farrell, there's been a real mindset, a real change in mindset ever since he came back to professional wrestling after a break. And beautiful go-behind escape by Mike Bird into the ropes, and now rolls him right through into a pinning predicament. James Farrell kicks out at 2 and looks to get right back on Mike Bird, who's able to counter beautifully and right back to the full Nelson submission.
Yeah, we've seen this a few times now, and it really seems to be causing Farrell some issues.
It does. He created full separation there, and then just like that, transition into a chokehold. Very standard, but very effective. But a jawbreaker creates some separation and rolls Mike Bird over, and that could be enough to lock in the Prestige. And I think that's exactly what James Farrell is looking to do, lock in the Prestige submission. That is locked in deep, and a tap out.
Wow.
James Farrell has just tapped out Mike Bird in your main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referees will establish this contest by submission. Your winner, the Prestige, James Farrell.
Well, we've seen some very impressive knockoffs. We've seen some very impressive upsets here today, but none more so in your main event than James Farrell, who has just submitted Catch-22's Mike Bird. And the legacy and the story of James Farrell continues here in South London at the expense of Mike Bird. I think James Farrell taking a moment and now offering his hand to Mike Bird, and are we going to get a true code of honor? And there's the handshake.
The best Britain has to offer.
A real mark of respect there. And ladies and gentlemen, what a stunning main event here at your first ever TSUYOI Wrestling Prologue.